on the phone.
Yeah, kick that one out.
Brisbane-based indie rock band, the GoBetweens, provided the soundtrack to a generation during the 1980s. And for one night only, they're back with material like this.
Round and round, up and down, through the streets of your town. Every day I make my way through the streets of your town. And I ride your river under the bridge. And I take your boat out to the reach.
With the blessing of co-founding member Robert Forster, 3 of the Go-Betweens lineup, John Woolstead, Amanda Brown and Lindy Morrison, will perform the immortal 16 Lovers Lane for the Melbourne International Arts Festival. Don't even know if you could get tickets anymore to that one. And we're delighted to welcome John and Amanda to News Breakfast. Don't know what that picture's doing there. We'll get rid of that. Good morning. Nice to have you on the program. Welcome to News Breakfast.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
I know from the endless articles that have been done about the Go-Betweens, the interviews that you've done, the documentary that's been done about you, there's a certain degree of, is there exhaustion with discussing the history of the band and the complex history of the band, or are you in a more comfortable place with that these days?
Oh, I think we're all good with it, but it was 30 years ago, so our memories are a little hazy, to say the least.
Yeah, well, if you're going to reform to play a classic album like that again, I'm afraid you'll just have to put up with the questions. Everyone's still dying to know, John.
We're very creative. We just make stuff up.
Well, we can't do anything about that.
When you do plan to come back together, is there a sort of process of creative renewal for you, given that you're playing something that was created 30 years ago?
Yeah, for me, sorry, AB. Listening to things. You've got to listen to things and pull them apart. It's quite complex, because you don't remember how things are done. You've got to...
Do you find new things in the music?
We do.
Yeah, look, I don't think, to be honest, this realisation of 16 Lovers Lane, it never sounded that good 30 years ago as it does now.
You always do this, Amanda.
Because we've got 3 fabulous guitarists augmenting the band, and so we're able to reproduce all the little parts from the studio recording that we could never do as a 5-piece.
Yeah, you've got some great guest artists joining you for this recreation of the album. Take us through those people.
We've got the legendary Paul Kelly, we've got Jen Cloher, we've got Romy Vega, the beautiful Laura Jean, who put out a great album this year, Claire Moore and Dave Graney. Who am I forgetting? Rob Snarsky.
Yeah, there's a couple more.
That's an amazing bunch of musicians, and of course they were all connected to and would have been influenced by, the important music that you were creating. So in a sense, you're sort of bringing together a sorority and a fraternity of fellow musical travellers, can I put it that way?
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. A lot of them, when we curated the lineup, we wanted to have people that actually meant something to the band and had some sort of deep connection. So a lot of people like Claire and Dave and Paul are old friends of the band. Other people like Jen Cloher covered the Go-Betweens songs, so there's always a connection of some sort.
When we talk about music that stands the test of time in the way that this music has, it's often because it's somehow captured a particular place or a particular moment in time. Do you have a view now as to why this music did do that, Brisbane in the late 1980s?
I think all music captures some moment in time for people of a certain age. I think that's,
It doesn't all resonate in the way that this does.
Yeah, maybe that's true. There was a summer there where we made a mark or something. The way the songs were written and the way they were recorded had a certain quality which kind of appealed to that particular summer in Australia. A beautiful summer back there.
Can I ask why Robert Forster is not joining you in this?
Too tall?
That was one of the made-up answers, I think.
Cute answer, but it won't quite fly.
We're just too sexy for him.
Yeah, that's a nice try again.
No, Robert has other stuff to do, and this it just doesn't fit with his, the path that he's on as far as music making. He makes his own music, and he's got a very busy kind of writing career, and he's putting out this the next Go-Betweens box set, you know, which comes out I think later this year. So he's a very busy person, and he was really happy for us to just do it, you know, and he came to the show in Brisbane and had lovely things to say about the show and brought his family and stuff like that. So yeah, we feel like we're operating, you know, with approval, you know, I suppose.
Does the approval matter to you, Amanda?
Yeah, it does. I think everybody wants to feel good about doing the show, and we don't want animosity. We don't want it to be some sort of hollow tribute.
We were talking this morning about a new live TV music show for Australian acts that's going to air pretty soon on the ABC. And in that context, this being a really interesting moment for Australian music, that there is a lot happening, there is a lot of rich stuff going on. Do you enjoy the moment that we're in now musically as a country?
Yeah, I think there's some great music. I mean, people kind of get nostalgic about the music from the 80s, but really there's some awesome artists around it.
Who excites you now?
Well, Laura Jean, who we're lucky enough to have in our show, I think has made a pretty flawless, beautiful current album. Jen Cloher's like riding a wave of success, and really what
She's really amazing.
What she and Courtney Barnett have done with Milk Records is incredible, really. They carved out their own reputation and created their own industry to support their creative activities.
Well, the one night only will certainly be a night to be there and to remember. So, Amanda, John, thanks so much for joining us today. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We hope it goes well.
Guys.
All right, we'll take